Perfect. Welcome then. Welcome to, oh, here's Julie. Just as we're about to start, Julie. Welcome, Julie. I know it's a bit of a rush after, in fact, the time's changing slightly. In the new year, they're moving the time on by 1/4 of an hour so that there's not a clash with the end of something and the beginning. So we've got a cushion, Julie, just in case. We're going to do a bit of kneeling tonight, so it might be that you want to put something under your knees at some point, but just come and find a comfortable place to begin. Come and find, maybe cross-legged is your comfortable place, maybe it isn't. Just find whatever comfortable seat you can. Maybe your legs are out long, maybe you're sitting cross-legged, maybe you're kneeling already. We are going to come to kneel. We are going to be, we're going to be down on the mat quite a bit, and then we'll come up. So just any contraindications tonight. Just be mindful if there's anything going on with your abdominals. We're going to be stretching our belly a little bit. So just be mindful. Back, we're going to be getting into our back a little bit. So again, if there's anything tricky about your back, just check out with a medical practitioner if kind of yoga is the thing for you at the moment. But it should be fine if there isn't anything in those two departments that might be contraindicated to our practice. So just come, find this comfortable place, let your shoulders be soft, let your neck be long, and your chin just gently easing. So we're not kind of pulling it down, we're just gently easing it slightly towards our chest. And we're just going to find a way into our breath here. And I often say this, like, just find your breath. What does that mean? What does it mean to find your breath? So just start to bring your awareness. And sometimes this is a lot easier to do when we close our eyes. When we're focusing on some other kind of media, even if it's someone telling you or sharing with you what to do, inviting you, it can still be distracting. So blocking out your kind of vision sense helps you come more into a felt sense. So just start to maybe hear if it's okay to close your eyes or gaze down towards the floor. Just start to come into your breath. Just start to feel the ebb and flow. And just bring your mindful attention to your breath. Notice if you are breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Notice how long the breath is as it comes in, how long the breath is as it goes out. Just for the next few breaths, focus on the inhale, the length of time, the exhale, the length of time, and just notice the journey too. Where's your breath coming? Is it staying here in your upper chest? Is it coming more down into your lower chest? Or can you feel it drawing all the way down as your diaphragm moves to welcome in that breath? Can you feel the movement there, the belly rising and lowering as you inhale and exhale? So just start this practice, this journey today with your breath, connecting. And it just kind of shows that we don't have to do any particular yoga breathing practice. We can just come to the practice of breath. And then we're going to continue with the breath, but we're going to release our hands from our knees, bring our fingertips out towards the side. And as we inhale, turn your palms. Welcome, Wendy. We're literally just starting, just connected to our breath. We're inhaling, reaching up. We're exhaling, we're floating the arms down, palms leading. So they lead up, they lead down. As you inhale, turn your palms and rise. Inhaling, lifting. If this is too much of a stretch, you can bend your elbows, bring your hands here. And then exhale, let your hands float down. One more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale, float lower your arms down. Wendy, could you perhaps put yourself on mute, please? That will be wonderful. We're going to inhale. We're going to lift our arms up into the center. And then as we exhale, take your hand down one way and lift the arm the other way. We're going to get a little bit of a flow here. So we're going to switch sides, nice and soft in the elbows. Imagine that you've got I don't know, I was going to say a football scarf and you're waving it in the air. I mean, the World Cup is just about to start. I don't know if you're boycotting it like many other people, but imagine that kind of movement. It's a flowing movement, both arms moving together, one coming all the way down, one just drifting over, and then take that the other way. Do that one more time, each side, reaching arms through the air. So maybe the inhale takes you one way, the exhale takes you the other way. This time, as your hand touches down, sweep the other hand forward and come around, touch that hand down, reach up with the other. So exhale, take this hand down, sweep around, and inhale, reach up with the other. Just do that one a few more times. Exhale, float down. You've just been talking about gut health. This is a really lovely movement, a lovely little flowing movement for positive digestion. So float round, reach up. Let this hand now just float back. Bring your hands onto your knees. We're going to take some seated cat-cows before we come into kneeling to do them. So as you inhale, float your heart forwards. Feel your shoulder blades starting to draw together. Let your face turn up to the sky. Exhale, roll into your cat. Inhale, float your heart forward. Lift your face to the sky. Exhale, roll into your spine. One more time. Inhale. Let your heart shine forward. Exhale. Float into that more rounded back. Now we're going to come back into our neutral spine, and then we're going to ease ourselves to hands and knees, tabletop position. There's going to be a little bit of kneeling here. So it might be that you want to kneel on a cushion just to give that little bit of extra softening. It might be that if you don't have a cushion handy, you might fold your mat just to get a little bit of extra padding here. Come find your tabletop position. Your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Lengthen your crown. Feel like your crown is shining this way, your tail that way. Find a nice long spine, and then as you inhale, let your belly start to lower as your tail rolls up, your heart shines forward. So cat-cow again. Exhale, roll into your spine. We did it seated, now we're doing it from our tabletop position. Inhale, let your belly lead, but with control. So lengthen the front of the body, feel that control in the abdominals. Exhale, roll up, lengthen your spine. One more time each way. Inhale, let your belly lower, let your tail lift, let your heart shine forward, and then exhale, float up into your cat. We're going to drop down now. We're going to come to kneel. So just drop your hips back onto your heels. You can be on the tuck toes, or you can untuck your toes and be down here. Personal choice. Tuck toes is quite nice. It's one of those naughty but nice things that it feels quite, oh, this is a bit too much on our toes sometimes, but beautiful practice for stretching that fascia under your feet. We're going to take a little flowing movement now, a little bit like this one, but this time, instead of this hand coming forward and we reach over, we're going to sweep our left hand around to the side towards the back of the mat, and then float back round. Take the right hand back, reach up with the left. So sweep around. This time the left hand comes a bit further back, reach up with the right arm overhead, and then sweep round. I'm going to move so you can see what I'm doing from a side profile. So I'm reaching up, and then that hand's coming down. It's coming to about, you know, a little ways back, but as far back as feels good. Find this little flowing movement here. One arm back, one arm rises, lengthen through the side body. And then switch, one arm up. Beautiful. Just take another one each side. Perfect, then come back into the center, come back into your tabletop position. So make your way back into your tabletop position. We're going to take a little flowing movement now with a bird dog. So we're going to send our right leg away. We're going to reach out with our right arm. We're going to lift our left arm out, right leg out, sorry. Maybe if that's too much, keep the hand down, just lift the leg out. If it feels okay, lift opposite arm and leg. A really nice strengthening posture for the body, particularly the pelvis. As we exhale, we're going to curl into the center, rolling into the back. As we inhale, we're going to reach out arm and leg. So opposites. Exhale, curl into the center. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, curl into the center. One more time to inhale and reach out. And then touch the left hand down, bring the right knee down. And let's do that on the other side. So slide left foot out first. If you want to introduce the arm, reach out with right arm. Lift the left leg. And as you next exhale, gather into the center. And then inhale, reach out. Beautiful. Gather into the center as you exhale. And reach out as you inhale. So you're creating space here so that when that exhale comes, it moves into that space you've created. Inhale, reach out. Touch the right hand down. Touch the left knee down. We're going to stay hips over knees. We're going to stay there. And we're going to start to walk our arms away ahead of us and melt our heart down to the floor. So slide arms away. Ease heart down. Sometimes this can feel a little bit strong on shoulders. So if that's the case, bend the elbows. Bring the hands more into a kind of diamond shape over your head. Maybe your forehead will touch the floor. So this is heart melting pose. Hips over knees. Heart melting down towards the mat. Arms extended, maybe with a little bend. Come and find a few breaths there. One more. And then come back onto your hands. And then drop your hips to your heels into a child's pose. If it feels like, you know, I've just been stretching my arms out, I don't want to stretch my arms out again, sweep your arms behind, let your forehead touch down to the earth. If your forehead doesn't touch to the earth in child's pose, you can always bring your arms back around and make a tower of fists for your forehead to connect down onto. And take a few breaths here. So a few back bends today. So we're taking a counter pose for that first one there, Anahatasana, heart melting pose. We'll take another breath in our child's pose. And then when you find your next inhale, slide the hands forward, come back into your tabletop position. Let's tuck those toes, lift the hips, come downward facing dog. I'm keeping a big bend in my knees, can you see? And instead of just trying to drop my heels, lengthen my legs, I'm just going to take this really glorious moment to ease one heel down, then the other heel down. Instead, I'm trying to get my tail up into the sky as far as I can. I'm letting my shoulders slip away from my ears. If it feels like your ears and your shoulders are near each other here, slide those shoulders away. Ease one heel and then the other heel. Take a few little pedaling actions here. And then walk your feet all the way towards your hands. Come and find a little forward fold here. And then as you next inhale, come and roll yourself all the way up to stand. Beautiful. I'm just going to slightly change the angle of my camera whilst I'm up. So a little bit like that bird dog where we were on hands and knees and we were reaching out and in. We're going to kind of take a little approach here. We're going to play with a little balance and take a little approach for that movement as if we're doing a bit like a running man. So we're going to bring our hands to our hips. Come feet hip width apart. Let your hands just come and sit on your hips. And then you're going to start to take a bend into your left knee and then ease your right away behind. So your right leg is up, you're bending in your left knee. You're going to reach out with your right hand. So right hand, do the right hand, Louise. Reach out with your hand. And then as you exhale, curl into your center. Inhale, reach out with right hand, right leg. Exhale, curl into your center, testing your balance here. Inhale, reach out, right hand, right leg. Exhale, curl into your center. And then step the right foot down. Keep that squatting-like position. Reach up with your hands. Chair pose. So can you see I'm sending my bottom down. My spine is long. I'm reaching out with my arms. Take a chair. I'm going to be kind and say push down and rise back up from your chair. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So this time we're going to come to balance onto our right leg. We're going to bend our right knee as we come to balance. Lift our left knee. And then reach out with your left arm, reach back with your left leg. My right arm is also going back like my leg. And then I'm coming back into the center. I'm reaching out. And then I'm gathering back into the center. Let's do that once more. Left leg out, left arm forward. Gather back into the center. Pause here. And then step that left foot down. Keep the squat in your chair pose. Come, lift your arms. Find your chair. Beautiful. Take an inhale here in chair pose. And then when you find your exhale, fold forward. All the way down. Bring your fingers to the earth. Forward fold. If your fingers don't touch, bend your knees. Give yourself some space. Let your body come down. So come find that place. Make any adjustments you need to make. And then as we inhale, push into your feet. Rise up with your arms. And bring your hands all the way around behind. Put them onto your sacrum. Imagine that you're going to stick your hands into your back pockets here. And then, so kind of your heels of hands are in line with the crest of your hip. We're going to come soft knees, but as we inhale, reach up and start to take a little back bend here. So a standing camel or standing anapatasana, heart opening pose. So something that's expanding our heart, bending our back up towards the sky. As we exhale, do this really slowly. Just be mindful if you get a bit of a head rush. Exhale, rise, but then float your hands down the backs of your legs. Come all the way back down into your forward fold. And just pause there a moment. Let your fingers touch down. Maybe you come and hold opposite elbow. Just take a moment, take a breath. And then let your hands touch down to the earth. Step back one foot, drop to your knee. Step back the other foot, drop to your knee. Come back into tabletop position. When you arrive, just have a little swish of the hips. Maybe a little rotation of the hips one way, a little rotation of the hips the other way, and then drop back again into this kneeling position. Tuck toes, fold your mats, or pop a pillow under. I'm just going to change the angle again. So come here. We're going to. Oh, there's a firework display outside my window. We're going to take a camel pose now. So we've been playing with this a little bit. We did a standing camel. We've done these flowing movements like this. So our camel pose, we're going to come up into a high kneel. Keep your toes tucked like this in case you want to come down and try to bring your hands to your heels. Really find that you are lifting up through your core. We've done a few little strengthening maneuvers for our core. Feel like you're expanding up through the front of your body. First of all, take your hands around to the base of your spine, like that back pocket hand gesture here. And then we're gonna come back here. We're gonna open up our hip flexors, switch your glutes on, push your pelvis forward, and then start to take a little bend backwards. Take your eye gaze up to the ceiling, come back into your back bend. And then as you inhale, slowly come back up. So mindful of head rushes here. So just be mindful if there's any kind of dizziness going on with your symptoms, maybe just don't worry about this one. Come down, take a nice child's pose instead. If it's okay, you can try that again, or maybe you want to come down, find your heel. So with the toes tucked, this is easier to find your heel. It's not so far away than if you have to come all the way to the mat. So come back, find maybe one heel, come back, find the other heel, and then lift your pelvis. Stretch your hip flexors forward, take a gaze up to the ceiling, open your heart, switch your glutes on, camel pose. I'm coming to have a look. So you can do it with your hands on your back. You can take that leap of faith down towards your heels and then rise back up. Mind the head rush. Untuck the toes, drop the hips to heels, ease yourself back down. Arms this time can come forward or backwards into your child's pose. Take a breath. Ease in. Just congratulate yourself for that quite a tricky back bend, quite a strong back bend. Take another breath or two in your child's pose. And then we're going to take a little ease back into our kneeling position. We're going to come onto our backs. So come up to kneeling, just drop your hips to one side, ease your feet round, and come and take yourself down onto your back. So feet, soles on the floor, knees bent, ease yourself back. Oh, so we're going to take a bridge pose. So feet, soles of feet on the floor. Bring your heels reasonably close to your hips. See where they come to. Maybe if you reach your arms out, your palms are flat on the floor, you'll be able to feel your heels, feel the backs of your feet. Palms, as I said, just let your palms settle down onto the floor. Catch your breath here. Just come, take a moment, take a breath. And then we're going to rise up into our bridge. But just feel into the breath. Notice the movement like we did right at the beginning of our practice. Notice where your breath is going. Notice how your breath is moving. Is it here in the top of your chest? If it was there, have you noticed that it's moved down a little way into your mid-chest? If it was there, have you noticed it's moved down a little bit into your belly? And as you inhale, maybe your belly rises and maybe your belly falls with the exhale. And if that's happening, as you inhale, you might notice that as your belly rises, your lower back lifts. And then as you exhale, it all lowers back down. And then when your next inhale comes, you might notice how your belly lifts, your upper back lifts, and your tail starts to roll slightly down. So your pelvis tilts. And as you exhale, the belly lowers, the back lowers, the tail lifts. So the pelvis starts to, well, the pelvis is tipping backwards, but the front of your pelvis, your pubis, is coming forward. Go with that motion. So next time you find that exhale, go with that uplift. Go with the movement of the pelvis, wanting to rise up, push into your feet, lift, turn those glutes on, feel that sensation of glutes switching on to open up the hip flexors, lift the belly, lift the chest towards the chin, lift the chin towards the sky, and there you are in your bridge pose. Really feel that solidity, that strength of the bridge with your feet rooting, earthing. Find another breath. And as you exhale, start to lower down one vertebrae at a time. Easily float down, send your tail away, lengthen your tail. Beautiful. Ease your knees towards your chest, give them a little hug. And then step the feet back down, both feet together now, the insides of your legs together. Drop your knees over to the left. So both knees, we're just finishing with a twist. So your kind of inner leg, your inner thigh, your knees, your ankles touching together, dropped over to the left-hand side. Maybe you'll turn your eye gaze and look away to the right side. So you're looking the opposite way to which your knees have fallen. Just continuing that lovely twisting sensation of the spine. Just take a few breaths here. And then as you next inhale, ease your head back into neutral. Bring your knees back to point towards the ceiling, reset. And then let's take both knees together, so your legs still touching. Drop them both over to the right. Your arms away from your body. This time your head, your face can stay looking to the ceiling, or you might just want to look away in the opposite direction that your knees have fallen. Find your breath. Easeful breaths. Let the breath slow. We're moving towards Shavasana. One more breath here. As you inhale, bring your knees back to face the ceiling, bring your head back into neutral. And then let your legs slide away. Come find that place of complete relaxation. Let your legs be long, let your feet be wide, let your arms float away from your body, palms facing up. If this is tricky on your lower back, if you just feel that your lower back is compromised, laying flat on your back, it might be that for you, you bend your knees, you take the feet to the outside of the mat, you drop your knees in, constructive rest. Come and find the place that feels right for you. You want to be able to relax here. So where are you going to be able to most feel relaxed? And when you find that place, just let your breath completely settle until you really don't take any notice of your breath at all. You just know that your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is at ease. And just sink in here. And while you do, I'm going to share with you a poem. It only takes a minute, a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. So, as slowly as feels right for now, reconnect to your breath. And as you reconnect to your breath, invite some gentle movement, however that arrives. Maybe a gentle wiggle of the fingers or of the toes, or a gentle rock of your head from side to side. Find your way back to the here and now. And when you're ready, as you inhale, let your arms drift all the way above your head. Take a nice long full body stretch. As you exhale, let your arms float down. Let your knees rise up, and that might mean just stepping your feet towards your body and then hugging them in all the way towards your chest. Give them a little squeeze. Find a gentle rock from side to side, across the back, across the spine, and roll it over onto your right hand side. Pause there just for a breath, just for a moment. But then taking your left hand to the earth when you are ready, inhaling, easing yourself back to the seated place. When you arrive, let one hand sit upon your heart, let the other hand sit upon your womb space. Just take a breath of love for you, to yourself. Thank you for being here, for sharing this practice tonight. Namaste.